Hey everyone, my name is James. Go by Rascals Resellers here on YouTube and eBay. And in yesterday's video, or maybe the day before, depending on when this video comes out, we had a quick conversation in regards to inventory and needing to get a room cleaned up and things along those lines. So I kind of started. I should have probably took footage at the beginning so that way you could see what all's been done. But in reality, I really haven't done that much yet. But just doing one thing made a huge difference. So what I want to do is I want to kind of document the inventory process and how much cleaner it ends up looking before and after. So A, it keeps up the motivation when you can go back personally and just kind of look at what you have accomplished, and B, hopefully it'll give other people ideas in regards on how to keep an inventory system or just stay organized. Start off with what I've done is this was a bookshelf that was in our middle daughter's room, and she decided most of the books she didn't want, and she kept the ones she wanted, but the others that she got rid of, I'm going to go through them, see if any of them have any value, of course, here on eBay. If not, then they'll probably end up going to Goodwill, or maybe give them to somebody here in the neighborhood, or try to sell them cheap here in the neighborhood or something like that. But I took all these shoes and got them put on this bin, and they all came off this bed. So just that little bit, just going from there to there, is pretty motivating. I think the next thing I'm gonna do is I got a bin full of t-shirts here. T-shirts are something else I've kind of shied away from just because they're easy to collect and not quick movers. But normally you pick them up for $1 or $2. But I'm going to take those t-shirts out of there, and I'm going to put them in this bin over here. This one here. This is the one we were digging in yesterday for the jeans and stuff. I'll still have to dig through this bin when a clothing item sells, but that'll give me the opportunity to get a bin out until I can come up with a better idea for inventorying clothing items. And hopefully once I get an idea on how to inventory the clothing items, then it'll be a lot easier to cross post them to like Mercari and Poshmark and things like that. The third thing I think I'm going to try to get done today, and it's going to be a process, is I've got a couple more boxes, obviously the Bud Light boxes. Fortunately, I haven't caught any heat from yesterday's video off the Bud Light boxes, but I'm waiting for it. But I got a couple more stashed downstairs, so I'm going to try to work on getting some of this stuff out. And then I've got one already in there. I don't know if you can see it or not. That's got DVDs in it. I'll probably get the rest of the DVDs and just put them in that box and label it something, and just have a box full of DVDs, and then see how much of this stuff I can go ahead and fit into other boxes. And then I think I've got a coffee table that we're not using. I'll probably pull that coffee table and put it in here and put boxes underneath it and some boxes on top. Now I'll have to go further up the wall as time goes by, but for right now it's just trying to condense and sort and see where we can get. So I'm gonna work on getting some of that done, and I'll come back here. I'd love to say in a few minutes, but for you it'll be seconds. For me it'll be hours probably. We'll see. Let's see. It's currently 3:21, so let's just see how long it takes me. I'll check back in at 4:21. I'll put an hour in and see how far I get. All right, so I literally had to stop what I was doing because I found this to be very interesting. I sold these golf balls just now, and I literally just put them in. As you can see, it's got the skew here now as E for box E, obviously. But the thing that I found the most interesting on that is I've had these golf balls, I think, since like December. So obviously they're not going to sell in the winter months. That makes sense. And they're only going to sell, now's the time where people are going out and playing golf. So I get that. But I just found it really weird that they sold just, I don't know, like 10 minutes after I labeled them and I updated the listing and put them in the box. So let me come over here. We'll just see. There's box E. This is kind of how this is going to work. It's going to be pretty simplistic. There's box E, and then there they are right there. 2 sets of golf balls. They sold for 12 bucks. I just got through looking it up. I paid like, I think $3.50 for the 2 boxes, so it's a total of 6 golf balls. And they'll go in a 4x6x8 box, and I'll get them shipped out. I just thought that was really unique that right after I updated the listing, or not long after I updated the listing, the item sells. I've heard people say before that if you in the auction and click on sell similar and just use the same photos and the same description and start over, I guess it gets a new ID number. But I've never heard anybody say anything about, you know, updating an auction and getting a sell. And the only reason I even bring it up is because I added some of the recommended that eBay once told me, or suggested I should say. And not long after that, probably maybe an hour later, one of those items sold. But that could be chalked up to when you add the recommended, now it's a larger search field. You know, more people are going to go through and find the item based off the information that you've entered. But just updating a custom SKU that nobody would even see, I don't think that would have anything to do with the item, but I don't know. I don't know how the eBay algorithm works. I just thought it was really weird. So I just wanted to stop what I was doing and kind of share that information. So since we're already in the process of recording and everything, and we did have a sale, I just wanted to show you real quick how I was going to do these golf balls. This is just a 4x6x8 box. Put a piece of packing paper down on the bottom, put the golf balls on top, and we're just going to take another piece of packing paper and put it on top. And we're going to try to do it one-handed because we're holding a GoPro. So there's that. I'm not gonna lie, I've already cheated and weighed it before I even started filming. I already know it's gonna come out to 13.48 ounces. So I've already done the numbers too. The actual gross sell on this particular item was 12 bucks. And you subtract out the cost of goods, which was $3.23, and that takes you to $8.77. eBay fees, $1.89, takes you to $6.66. Shipping is going to be $5.66 for this thing. It's going to Wisconsin. That leaves me with a total profit of a big old $1.22. All right, so with that being said, $1.22 did not even double my money, but I'm not mad. This is something I bought a while back. Before I really got smart about doing research and looking into things and trying to figure stuff out. The moral of that story is just because it's new in a box and you find it at Goodwill does not mean that it's going to be a profitable item. So with that being said, just make sure you're doing your research. What I've started doing is I just throw everything in a cart that I think it has potential, and then I'll take the time and go off in a corner out of everybody's way and start looking things up on eBay. And even then, you're not always going to get it completely right. You're going to have some misses. You're going to miss the market. Things like that are going to happen. But at least then you're not just buying completely blind. You have some idea of what it is you're getting into. So I just kind of wanted to go over that because not everyone's going to be a winner. I mean, $1.22, that's $1.22 more than I had, but in all reality, we don't want everything to sell for $1.22 profit. You're not going to last very long doing this. So just thought that might be helpful, and I figured it would be easier just to go ahead and show this now on this video since it all transpired today while we were shooting the film. So I'm back. It's not 4:21 or 4:31 like I said I was going to do, because after I finished the last segment of the video, I realized in order to be smart, or at least attempt to be smart, I was going to need a few things. I was going to need something to drink, I was also going to need my laptop, so that way I could go through and actually edit the auctions and put what box they were going in. So what I ended up doing is went downstairs, made myself a drink, grabbed my laptop. I had 2 more boxes and I labeled those. I labeled them actually E and F. So I put those papers on there. So that wasn't part of the hour. I came upstairs, I got everything set up, and then I took my phone and turned the timer on and actually set a solid hour. And so what I would do is I would grab something out of this bin. Actually, that's not true. What I did was I came over here and would scroll through and find something like, say for example, these 12 compact TriStar vacuum cleaner bags, and I'd just hit edit on them, and then I would label it like F, and I'd go over to the box, I pull it up to the picture, I go over to the box, find it, match it up to the picture, and then come down here, hit update listing, and then drop it in the F box. So needless to say, that was very tedious, very time consuming, but actually as I whittled through the box and started getting stuff moved around, it actually started moving a little bit faster because things were easier to find. So that just tells me that having everything in something smaller, instead of having like 50 items in a big bin, having them broke down into 10, 12 items in 5 smaller boxes is just going to be more efficient in the long run. This bin actually doesn't look any better, and the reason it doesn't look any better is because I actually had some stuff sitting back here in this little corner, and then I actually had some stuff sitting over here in this little corner that weren't even in the bin, and then I had a couple more things over here on the bed. So I filled the boxes up. As you can see, they're pretty full. Actually, these 3, A, B, and C, were already full. I added a couple of things, I think, to each of them. E and F over here were completely empty, and D was about half full. So I went through, just found what I needed, and labeled it, just like I showed you, put it in the box. So the game plan now is, all the stuff that was here and over here, I put in the bin. So that's why it doesn't look like I actually did all that much, because I added some stuff back to it. But now I actually have everything broken down into this bin, 6 different boxes. This tote down here is all any clothing item that I actually have listed, and then this is all the shoes that I actually have listed right now, and this would be glassware. So it's definitely more organized than what it was, and the great thing about this is I was actually able to go through and I found a whole bin. This whole bin right here is full of little kids' jeans and I think a couple of jackets. Those were just sitting up here. They weren't even listed. This shirt here and these Pokemon cards in here are not even listed. So, matter of fact, let me grab this box and put it over here. Because all this stuff's going to come out. Those 2 boxes, I was able to empty a bin. I thought about taking the hats, since they're kind of coming out of that, and putting them in a bigger bin. But then I'm afraid I'm going to run into the same problem of having too many items in one bin. So until I figure out a different way to do the hats, I think I'm just going to kind of leave them there, because I actually even have more hats downstairs that I need to get listed. So now the game plan is we're just going to put the lid on this for right now and kind of push it up against the wall. And then we're going to take these 3 boxes. See if I can even do this with the GoPro in my hand. And then just line them up there like that. And so in theory, everything's been, I don't want to say condensed, because it's not really condensed, but more organized, and hopefully it'll be easier to find. Definitely the stuff in the boxes is the newer listed stuff, so I would think, I mean, you don't ever really know, but I would think the stuff in the boxes would sell before the stuff in that big bin down there, but that's not necessarily true, because you don't ever know what buyer is going to come around when. So I may end up having to pull these boxes off of here to get back into that bin, but that's still going to be faster than trying to dig through that bin for anything that might have already been in that box. So that's that process. So this bin and those two boxes are going to leave this room because I need to figure out what I'm going to do with that stuff. And then the only thing I got left to do is to take the shipping supplies and get them kind of organized up a little bit in some way, form, or fashion. And this will be a room that's inhabitable for a couple of days during graduation. So, all right. If you found any of this information to be helpful or useful, please hit the subscribe button, the thumbs up button, and ring the bell so that way you can see our next video. Until next time, thank you very much and have a great day.